looked all right, man. Maribor's not bad. I remember Maribor because of Colin McGregor scored against him. It was like his first goal in Europe, and I think that was like years ago. So go ahead, man.
But I was just going to say that, like, looking at that, they're winnable matches. It's not going to be easy because, like you guys said, it's UEFA Champions League. It's the top club competition pretty much in the world. So you're going to see good play. I mean, Spartak Moscow, you're going there in October or November, I think. Right. I mean, that's going to suck ass. That's really cold.
But Liverpool's rounded into form right now. I fucking, me with English football, dude. I watched a little bit of that Liverpool-Hoffenheim match at Anfield, and they ran riot on Hoffenheim, man. They really
I love how Klopp has the team going, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they play that kind of form. They could win Group E with no issue, man. And it's like Spartak is like far and away, their coefficient is like 18. So even though they're in Pod A, they should be in Pod D.
Yeah, they were not good, but like like you guys are saying, I think with Celtic is when you come to Parkhead, it's going to be an interesting match. It's going to be a tough match for anyone coming in there. Are you going to have the 2-1 Barcelona wins? No, not all the time, but you do have that feeling of the any given Sunday sort of thing we say for football here. It's any given match that is in Glasgow, it's going to be tough for the visiting team.
Yeah, but we also, but that's the kind of, when I look at Twitter and I see dudes right after the draw and they're like, well, we can get 2 draws at home against PSG and Bayern, and then
I don't think so.
And we can beat Anderlecht, and it's like, okay, great. So already we're just conceding the group. You're already telling me that the group is a wash because it's like, fuck it, we're playing to finish third and make it to Europa and do damage there, and that's a real shitty.
So Yahmpy, tell me something. When you looked before the season started, as far as being a Celtic supporter is concerned, you look at the whole season and you say to yourself, right, I want Celtic to go as far as they can in the Champions League. Is that the minimum you would have wanted, or would you have said to yourself, as long as we get into the group stages, that's sweet? Like, what was your state of mind? Has that changed? Because one thing that we picked up on last season, when we did the podcast last season, I said expectations are going to shift with Brendan Rodgers. Last season, we weren't expected to even get into the group stages. I mean, Brendan Rodgers got us into the group stages in his first season as manager, with a side pretty much unchanged from a manager who couldn't do anything in Europe. I mean, Ronnie Dyler's side were a flop. Brendan Rodgers comes in and gets us straight into the Champions League, and we're like, oh shit, this guy is fucking, he knows what he's doing. He's taking us straight into the group stages. Happy days. Ka-ching, cash register starts slamming.
Right.
And I said to myself last season, next season there's going to be a change in the mentality of the fan base. People are going to say, yeah, next year you're expected to get in. Now we want to see you qualify from the group stage. See, for me, I don't think like that. I'm happy to just be playing in what I call the Harlem Globetrotters League, because that's what it is mostly. There's a few club sides in there that try and keep their heads above water and play with the good, the big boys. But this is the UEFA Champions League. It's the classy downtown restaurant that doesn't let riffraff in, and sometimes they hand out golden tickets in the Willy Wonka's chocolate bar and they'll let you come in, but the rest of the time your nose is pressed up against a glass window and you can smell the kitchen, but not at my table, no riffraff. That's the UEFA Champions League. That's why when you go up against teams, you got Ronaldo, and even in the past you'd have players like Rivaldo, and players that you would just couldn't dream being a Scottish football club supporter. There's no way you would ever see these guys wearing your strip, because they play in leagues that are in another stratosphere. So for me, I'll take the money And I'll play the big teams, and if we can take a scalp or two, and I'm telling you now, we're going to take a couple of scalps at Celtic Park this year. One, either Bayern or PSG. We're going to take one of them at Celtic Park away.
If you're going to put it out there like that, then it's probably going to be PSG. Because if you're going to put me to a sword between one or the other, it ain't going to be Bayern, man. Bayern's tough, dude. Bayern's straight up tough.
Yeah, well, listen,
I actually would disagree. I would say Bayern.
Really?
Yes.
Why would you say Bayern?
I would say Bayern because they're very susceptible to the counterattack, and I would assume that Celtic could be playing 10 behind and playing that counterattack ball. Watching Bayern in the preseason, they at least when they played Liverpool, they were not as sound defensively as one would think they normally are. Now, granted, it was preseason from what I saw, but I think that they probably would be a little bit more susceptible on the counterattack than PSG would. Now, granted, they have Manuel Neuer, who's really, the best keeper in the world.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just a small detail, but I mean,
yeah.
Actually, you know what? I like Neuer, but I also like Buffon too. So I mean, it's like for me when you say he's best keeper, I'm like it's just like 1A kind of thing.
Yeah, 1A, 1B. It's yeah.
They're like air apart.
Yeah, I would say Bayern.
Here's where I'll give you. I'm not trying to cut you off there, man, but here's why I'll give you PSG in my argument. If you're going to, okay, it's all fucking water under the bridge now. We got who we got, and it's Bayern and it's PSG and Anderlecht. So if I'm saying you're saying Bayern, I'm going to say PSG for this reason. We get them first match at home at Celtic Park on that opening fucking night. Place is going to be ape shit crazy. Everybody going fucking Tonto. Champions League music going up. It's going to be out of control. And you got guys. Who's the other boy they have coming in? Mbappe or whatever his name is.
Yep.
For SG and
from Monaco.
You're getting these new guys, and they haven't really had a chance to acclimate yet. All of a sudden, you're throwing them into the white hot fucking cauldron. Get an early goal on them, man. It's going to look like Rocky and Apollo out there. So if I think my best chance against one of those two fucking monster clubs, and let's not kid ourselves, outside of the big three of Atletico, Barca, and Real Madrid coefficient-wise, the next two in the coefficient and the top two non-La Liga clubs by coefficient is Bayern and PSG. We want to get one of them. Bayern will have had a chance to look at how we go after PSG. So they're going to be well better prepared than a kind of shuffled decks kind of PSG coming in and all of a sudden have that whole fucking thing going on against a really hyped up Brendan Rodgers side. What do you think, Stuart?
For me, I think when I'm looking at that group, I think to myself, I really hope that they can cancel each other out. That's when you've got two big guns in you. If you got one big gun in your group, it changes the chemistry of that 4-team group. And when you've got two big guys like that, or two big teams like that playing against each other, you just hope that they can somehow, in terms of points tally, nullify each other in a way. So you're hoping that maybe there's a draw. When you're looking for the win, they lose, and somehow it just gives you that edge. The big part of Celtic's, progression or possible progression is we've got to beat Anderlecht on both legs. We've got to beat Anderlecht away and at home. If we can do that, we stand a great chance of doing something. Plus, we need a big upset. We need a scalp. We need to surprise them. We need to bring them in to Celtic Park and go absolutely tonto, which they will, and hope that a large majority of their team just fucking crumbles because of the noise, because they're not expecting an early goal, because they're not expecting half of our team to just play out their skin, which is what happens. That's what happens at Celtic. Celtic Park turns, guys who are not playing at that level into larger than life football heroes. They play out of their skin because the energy coming in the stadium is like nothing they've ever experienced. And we've heard it from Messi, we've heard it from Xavi, we've heard it from Rio Ferdinand, we've heard it from guys that used to play for Bayern. Top guys, top clubs. You go to Celtic, it's a different story. So I get what you're saying. You want the best chance to qualify, but there is something magical about cutting the heads off one of these big boys. And I'm telling you, this season, I can smell the blood. It's going to happen. Somebody's going to fall at Parkhead, and if we can beat Anderlecht home and away, the magic is going to happen. I'm hyped, man.
I'm just, and actually, Scotty, now that I think about what you're saying, yeah, you're right with the new guys that PSG are getting, and also Mbappe is only 18 years old. I don't think he's probably ever played in an atmosphere like Celtic Park.
But see, here's my problem, and it's true. But here's my problem. Yes, we can. First thing, let's make something clear. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm afraid we got this big old thing. I don't give a fuck. You step in the ring with whatever, and you throw everything out. We like ditch diggers, not ballet dancers, and we want guys to go out there and kick ass whoever they're playing.
Yeah.
Right.
But that said, in the best case scenario, we can catch them like we caught Manchester City last year. And yes, we fucking had more than a puncher's chance. They came in there. They don't have that environment in Manchester City. They don't have a fucking stadium just like fucking just going apeshit crazy. But the problem is that we're also bringing in guys too. Patty Roberts supposed to be coming in. You got Boyata, who's supposed to be coming back. He's already been cleared to train, and he gives you that big presence in the middle of the pitch. But the problem is he's just going to be fitting into form right at the time that the Champions League is going to start. So they're not going to have a lot of time to get games under their belt to get refamiliarized with everybody. You're just going to be like, here you go, get out there and kick some ass. And that's a difficult circumstance because that's what we're evaluating PSG on. We're saying it's going to be a negative for them because they have guys who haven't played together yet. But we're saying it's a positive because we're getting these guys. You can't have it both ways. If it's a negative for them having great players like that, then it's going to be a little bit of a holdback for us too because you need time to get players to gel together, man.
Right. Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yes, I think we stand a puncher's chance, but it just grinds me when the first thing people are thinking of is, I wonder how this is going to fit into my work schedule so I can go on holiday. And, oh, man, that's great. We're going to be ready for Europa. I'm not fucking playing for Europa, man. I want them to fucking do the best they can and see if they can get into the last 16, because the last 16 was goddamn glorious when we did it when we played Juventus. We got through all that shit. I don't sit there. I'm not fucking looking for. Of course, if I don't have to fight them, I want to move on, man. I want to see my team as well. I don't think it's
Scotty's so pissed off. His mic's cutting out.
When fucking people sit there, it's like it's like there used to be this show. Fuck, it was a show on TV. It was like I can't remember her name, but this chick on there was always like me. And it's like, that's what I always feel like. Sometimes I see some of these people's fucking tweets and everything. It's like, oh, man, whatever happens with Celtics, just as long as it benefits me, that's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're going to get that with every club. Like, people see it as an opportunity to get, in amongst it with other fans, other stadiums, and it's part of it. It is part of the kind of excitement around the Champions League. You get to book your tickets, you get to go somewhere you've never been. So I get it. I do get that, but at the same time, that's not your sole reason. That shouldn't be your sole reason for it. I just got a question about the team. Like, in terms of our defence, I was thinking about this, just looking at how we're lining up and our centre backs, and we had the 2 games. Now, we haven't done a podcast since just before. We just like to talk about our predicted scores for the Astana match. Yahmpy, mate, how close was your prediction?
I gave Astana a little too much credit. I thought they were going to score a goal. But 5-0 at Celtic Park versus Astana, man, the beers. Look, man, the beers make you make magic, brother. So my suggestion is to anybody else that wants to beat the bookie, drink a lot. You'll see a bigger picture. It's like, remember how they used to in the 60s give people LSD and stuff to make them think clearer and see shit and everything? Drink heavily and then put your bet in.
Is there any particular drink that helps your predictive skills? What any particular?
It's not quality, it's quantity. It's total quantity.
Right. So it's
Armchair
not.
Ultras is not responsible for any bets made during drinking or any advice given by Scott Richards.
Yeah, that's good. I like that, Kyle. I'm using that disclaimer at the beginning of every episode. Like last week, I'm going to keep that. That's getting kisses. That's a good soundbite, man. I'll give you commission on that if you want, man. That's good. Thanks, man. Yeah. That was quite smooth. I was like, "Welcome to KBBL."
Love you, man.
But
Love you too, man.
I was going to say, like I said last week, it was going to be a 5-goal thriller, and it was a 5-goal thriller. And you said, what did you say?